Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary. And guess what? I am back. I was on vacation for 6 days, 5 nights in beautiful Aruba. I would recommend it to anyone who wants a beautiful tropical vacation when it's cold AF in your home state. Go away to Aruba. I mean, it was beautiful. It's hot, but not too hot. It was 85 degrees and breezy, which means this one who is heat sensitive due to her epilepsy medication was able to handle the heat. I was able to sit on the beach under my little hut on my cabana chair with no issues. I wasn't sweating like a dog in heat. Oh my goodness, I can't recommend Aruba enough. It was beautiful, food delicious. Locals are so friendly. They don't try to scam the tourists. I mean, I could go on and on about it, but I'm here ultimately to talk shit. It's Christmas Eve. Happy Christmas Eve to everyone. And I'm a little behind on my content. So back to reality. It's 31 degrees in New York. It snowed this morning, a little bit of snow for Christmas. And I am 2 episodes behind on doing my last resort to recaps. So this is last week's episode. The official title was Save the Last Dance, but I call it the Take Me to Vegas Now episode. So if I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a solid B plus just for Natalie and her dramatics. Natalie's a good actress. She's highly entertaining. She cracks me the fuck up. Okay. She may be annoying as fuck. I may hear in the background every time we see her, but hey, Natalie brings it on with the drama. And in this episode, like Josh said in last night's episode, this was one of her top three moments. Like, truly, one of her top three. Merry Christmas, Christoph, Sherry, Joe's Low, Venus, and Deidre. Thank you so much for joining me in my comments. I missed all you guys while I was away. And I'm just glad to be back. Not glad to be back in the cold, but I'm glad to be back. And hey, and let's hop right into this shit, why don't we? So it's the last resort. Gino and Jasmine spinning in the pool. We pick up from where we left off in episode 2. The rock carrying group therapy episode, that didn't work out so well for some couples. Well, it's the morning after, and everyone is having breakfast. So now at one table, we have Julia and Brandon, Sophie and Ari. Sophie doesn't want to sit next to Rob because she's annoyed at Rob because the night before, when Natalie went off on her in the van, Rob's the quiet. Okay, so she's annoyed with Rob. Hi, Lemon. Thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas. So basically, Sophie wants nothing to do with Rob. Benny wants nothing to do with Ari. Okay, so Benny is sitting at the boys' table with Gino and Rob, and then there's another table with Natalie and Josh. Okay, and then Florian decides he's going to sit with the boys, and Stacy sits with Natalie and Josh. Okay, so this is the seating arrangements for breakfast the morning after the rock carrying group therapy. So Benny starts showing off. He starts flipping around. He flips Gino around. We get to see Gino's bald head. I mean, come on. How much more freaking entertainment can you ask for? We got to see Gino's bald head. And Ari is just like, this is just typical Benny behavior. Benny always has to be the center of attention. He always has to impress everybody, be like, oh, look at me, look what I can do. I'm a stunt performer. I'm an MMA fighter. Look how many flips I can do in a row. But he doesn't pay attention to Ari, refuses to even look her way during breakfast. because he wants his social media passwords back. So Julia got flipped by Benny. She's like, oh my goodness, I'm having so much fun. I see, look, Gino's bald head. So I'm having so much fun. Let's go to the club. Let's go to the club. Guys, let's go to the club tonight. Stacy is down for it. Jasmine is down for it. And Florian, who is the MVP of this whole fucking season, okay? He calls it like he sees it. He's like, what's the problem with Gino and Jasmine's relationship? Gino doesn't have the balls to stand up to her. And that's the ultimate problem. And I'm like, Florian, you are absolutely fucking right. So, anyway, so now everyone is getting ready to go to the club. Stacy gets in a quick workout. Sophie is putting on her makeup, and Sophie is talking about how Natalie unfairly attacked her and how at breakfast, Julia told her that Natalie was talking shit about her, that Natalie was saying that she has a plastic ass, and just basically talking a whole lot of shit. So Sophie is telling Rob about it, and Sophie's like, I can't believe, this woman who's like 57 years old is picking on me. And I am cracking the fuck up because we all know I'm not a Sophie fan, but she was funny. Okay. She's like, why is this 57-year-old woman picking on me? I haven't done anything to her. So Rob is like, do you think Julia told her about Josh texting you, inviting you to Vegas? And Sophie's like, no, Julia's not a rat. Julia didn't tell her anything. Merry Christmas, AB. So they get ready to go to the club. Sophie reveals her dress, and Rob is like, wow. So Stacy, she's ready. She is ready. She is ready to get in there. She's ready to dance. Woohoo! Florian's like, Stace, calm down, Stace, calm down. So now they get to the club. Julia was wearing a bathrobe the whole time. In the van, everybody's like, Julia, why the fuck are you wearing a bathrobe? Well, this is why she was wearing a bathrobe. She was wearing an itsy skippy top and shorts. Okay? Rob takes off her robe. Everybody's having a ball. They are there to dance, drink mojitos, and get fucked up. So, of course, Benny, once again, the center of attention, grabs Jasmine to dance, grabs Julia to dance, is paying everyone attention except for Ari. So you know what Ari says? Fuck this shit. I'm going to spend bar night in the bathroom. So she locks herself in the ladies' room. Okay. It takes a while for people to notice that she's gone, but I'll get into that in a moment. So Ari decides she's going to spend bar night in the ladies' room because she's just annoyed. She's not annoyed that Benny is dancing with other women, but she's annoyed that they are here to work on their problems, and Benny just refuses to look her way, talk to her, like have any interaction with her whatsoever, but he's the life of the party to everybody else. So that is Ari's problem, and that's why she locked herself in the bathroom. Then now we move on to Natalie and Josh sitting at the bar together, and Josh announced to her that he's going to be leaving the next day for a couple of days to be with his son who had the serious accident. So Natalie's not upset that he's leaving to be with his son. He has this all prearranged with the therapist and everything. He's going to come back. But Natalie's upset that he chose a bar full of people to tell her. Like he didn't pull her aside privately and say, listen, Natalie, I got to go and be with my son. And, I'll be back in a couple of days and whatever. He waited until bar night to tell her. So that's what ultimately upset her. Hi, whatever, Linda. Merry Christmas. So Julia's like, I used to be a go-go dancer. That was my job. My job was to pump up Hi, Galaxy Train. Thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas. My job is to pump up the people in the bar, do the atmosphere, get everybody dancing. That's my job. So Julia decides that she's gonna perform her job. She jumps up on the bar. Next thing you know, Benny is throwing the dollars, except he doesn't have any actual dollars. Okay. Hi, Tanya. Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining me. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why my nose is like tripping. I think I got it all. Okay. Anyway, so Julia's up on the bar. She is dancing. She's having the time of her life. Brandon is fucking horrified. He is like, get down, get down. Like, seriously, get the fuck down. Even Rob was like, Brandon is like, get the fuck down, Julia. Okay. So Julia's having the time of her life. But Brandon's like, you can see your coochie coming out. You need to get the fuck down off this bar now. And he grabs her, practically throws her over his shoulder like a caveman, and gets her down from the bar. So Julia's like, why did you do that? I'm only having fun. And Brandon says, your coochie was hanging out for the whole bar to see. And anyway, you don't even want to have fun with me like that, but you're jumping up on a public bar for the whole world to see. And she's like, so what? I'm just dancing. I'm not taking my clothes off. And he's like, well, I want to be with somebody who's more motherly like than what you're acting now. And Julia's like, bye. Now, Jasmine finally notices that Ari's not around. And she's like to Benny, where did Ari go? And Benny said, I think she went to the bathroom. And Jasmine's like, she's been in there for a long time. Like, what is she doing? Blowing it up? So her and Benny go off to search for Ari. They are knocking on the door in the ladies' room, and Ari refuses to respond. Okay. Jasmine's like, Ari, ¿qué pasa? I can't help you if you don't tell me what's wrong. ¿Qué pasa, Ari? She even gets down on the dirty bathroom floor to try to look under the door. Ari's fucking not saying a word. I don't know where Benny got a butter knife from or whatever the hell he was trying to pop that lock with, but Benny's like trying to pop the lock. They're banging on the door. I mean, production even came in. Production is like, Ari, you need to say something before, we don't know what we're going to do, but you better say something. And all Benny cares about, all he really gives a shit about is his passwords. And that is the funniest fucking thing about this whole thing. Benny does not want to be there with Ari. Benny couldn't give two shits about her. He is done with her. Like he said many times himself, and he said it on last night's episode too. He can't fake it. That's his problem. He can't fake it, and he's not going to. So just seeing how he really couldn't care less, and how Ari tries to manipulate situations to make him care. I don't know, girl. So the producers are in the bathroom. They're like, Ari, you need to say something. Then I guess she did say something because the producers, left her alone. Jasmine's like, I just want to help you. We just want to make sure you're okay. We're going to leave you alone, whatever, whatever. So Jasmine is annoyed by Ari right now. She says she's acting like a brat. Why is she jealous with Benny dancing with, other women? The other women don't want Benny. We're all here to work on our relationships, blah, 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 blah. But she doesn't realize the real root of Ari's problem is that Benny won't engage with her at all. So now we have Julia and Sophie, stirring the pot a little bit. Okay. A lot of it. Fuck a little bit. Stirring the pot. So Sophie realizes that Josh is alone at the bar. So she decides to slide up to him and, just start a little conversation. a little innocent conversation. Okay. Um, Next thing you know Natalie doesn't miss a beat, right? Natalie's eyes are shooting fire towards the bar at Sophie and Josh. Okay. And she's like, she turns to Stacy and she goes, "What would you do in this situation? I don't like her talking to him. Look at her. She's not even wearing any underwear. I mean, Stacy, what would you do in this situation?" Then Jasmine comes sliding over, and Jasmine's like, listen, I have a little bit of tea that I want to spill to you. Josh slid into Sophie's DMs. I think Josh likes Sophie. Natalie, with her eyes of fire, Josh likes Sophie? You knew the shit was going to hit the fucking fan. Okay. She first, Natalie turns around and starts going around the bar. Okay. Yelling, "Is there a single man here? Is there a single man? Because my boyfriend invited another woman, whatever she is, to Vegas. And he does not invite me to Vegas. Is there a single man here?" Stacy and Jasmine grab her and they're like, calm the fuck down. What's wrong with you? And then next thing you know, there is a whole confrontation between Sophie and Natalie is flipping the fuck out, yelling at the top of her lungs. And basically, and she turned around and called Sophie a hooker. I'm not a Sophie fan, okay? But that was totally uncalled for. And since it was Natalie's man, Josh, that slid up into Sophie's DMs first, he's the one that invited Sophie to Vegas. Okay. Not the other way around. So Natalie was directing her anger towards the wrong person, as fucking usual. Okay. And she's just like, "No normal woman would do that. You're married. You are disgusting. Oh, you are disgusting, and how dare you? Shame on you. All you want to do is fuck other boyfriends." It was like, Natalie, what the fuck? Calm the fuck down, first of all. Second of all, redirect your anger towards Josh, because that's who deserves this anger right now. So Jasmine tells her, "You're being very rude, Natalie. You need to stop." And Natalie turns to Josh and goes, "Why did you bring me to this fucking retreat? You don't fucking care. Just you brought me to this fucking retreat to humiliate me." And next thing you know, she's outside sobbing. And Julia, Sophie, and Jasmine do cheers to the hookers. Okay, so now we have a girls' club going on. The girls are forming tighter bonds because of their mutual dislike for Natalie. Okay, so, and yes, Natalie is still married to Mike. Oh, yes, she is. And she has nerve to be calling Sophie a hooker. Just saying. Okay. Thank you, Yorkville Charlie. I don't know how I do it myself, but actually, this season of Last Resort is not that bad as compared to some of the other 90 Day shit that I've been watching in the past couple of months. At least this has like amusement, entertainment value. Watching Natalie have a breakdown, screaming at the top of her lungs, "You're a hooker." Remember, guys, when Mike's mother called her a hooker, she had a fucking breakdown. She was like, "I have a name and it's not hooker." Okay. Or she thought that Mike's mom called her a hooker. Let's put it that way. And she had a fucking mental breakdown. Yeah. So I find it highly, highly amusing this season of Last Resort. So yeah, last season, it was really, I couldn't, the only reason I watched last season, honestly, was for Kelly. Okay. But last season I couldn't watch it, and I honestly did not make it to the commitment ceremony. That's how bad last season was. This season, at least we have Florian. Florian will be entertaining every fucking episode. The shit that comes out of his mouth, the looks on his face. Okay, when there's certain situations going on around him, when there are, people fighting, the woman fighting, the looks on his face are fucking classic. Okay, so if just for Florian, this season is much better than last season. So yeah. Okay, so now Natalie is flipping the fuck out. Okay, Josh apologizes to everybody else, for her being a little cuckoo, and Natalie's like, I've given him 3 years of my life, and this is what I get. So now we move back to Benny and where is Ari? So Julia asked Benny, where's your wife? And Benny's like, oh, I think she's in the bathroom. She's been in there for a long time, maybe like an hour or something. Okay. So Ari just somehow snuck out of the bathroom. Okay. She said that she just waited for everyone, to finally leave her alone. And then she snuck out, and she's in the parking lot now where she runs into Josh, and she tells him, no, she's okay. It was just she needed a moment. She has a thing with, bars and crowds and loud music. And, she needed a timeout. So she gave herself a timeout in ladies' room bathroom stall for about an hour. Okay. And now she's in the parking lot, and her and Josh are going to walk in together. She's going to walk up to Benny, and she's going to say, can I talk to you for a second? Pull him to the side. And guess what? She agrees to give him back his social media passwords. Everything. She's going to give it back to him. Okay. Because she wants him to work on this therapy, and she knows that unless she gives him his social media passwords back, he ain't doing shit. He's not engaging. He's not looking at you. He won't even say good morning to you until you give him back those social media passwords, Ari. You knew that you weren't getting nowhere. So she agrees to give it back to him. And yeah, so she's like, let's see if we could work on this. And I'm making a big step by giving you the social media passwords back. So I'm going to give you a list of things that I would like you to do. No, first she says, I just have one thing I ask in return. And then she gives him a list of things. Okay. Like, be nice to me, engage, talk to me. I mean, she gave him like a list of 10 things after saying, oh, I just have one thing to ask in return. I'll give you all your social media passwords, Benny, but just one thing in return. Yeah. Okay. So now Jasmine, Ari's back in the bar. Jasmine's like, you good? And she's like, yeah, we'll talk later. And Jasmine's like, okay, you want a drink? You want water? Coke Zero? I'll take a Coke Zero. Okay. So Jasmine's going to find out the tea later why Ari decided to lock herself in the bathroom, and she's going to let her get away with it for now. Because in a minute, Jasmine's going to have more important, crazier things to deal with. So now Josh and Natalie are outside, and this is the lead up to one of the most iconic scenes in years on any of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise spinoffs. And I'm going to put my hand and my foot down when I say this. This was one of the most iconic scenes in recent years. Natalie and Josh are outside of the club, the bar, wherever the fuck they're at. Okay. And Natalie's like, did you invite her to Vegas or no? Tell me right now, why didn't you invite me to Vegas and you invited her to Vegas? And Josh is like, we have mutual friends. the friends were going to Vegas. So I asked her if maybe she wanted to join me and the friends that were going to Vegas. And Natalie's like, friends? Who? What friends? You just want to make me look like an idiot, a dog, a piece of shit. Stay down. Go away. And then she's like, you know how many men approach me and want to date me? And you know what I tell them? You know what I tell them, Josh? I'm in a relationship. And you know what, Natalie? That's your problem. Is that you tell all these men that hit on you that you're in a relationship because you're not in a fucking relationship. Okay? You're the side piece. You're just a piece of ass. You're the friends with benefits, whatever you want to call it. You are not in a committed relationship, and that's your fucking problem. When these men approach you, tell them, you know something? I am not in a committed relationship. I'm seeing a dude, I'm fucking a dude, but I'm not in a committed relationship. Okay? Like, what the fuck? Even better, don't even tell the new guy about Josh at all. Fuck Josh. So, anyway, she's like, I told these men that I'm in a relationship because of you, Josh. Because of you. And then she's like, invite me to Vegas right now. And Josh is looking at her like she is turning into like Medusa with like the snakes coming out of her head and shit. Like she's fucking possessed. She is screaming, take me to Vegas, invite me to Vegas. You invite hookers to Vegas. I waited for you for 3 long fucking years. And this is the way you treat me? Take me to Vegas now. And Josh is like, listen, I'm not taking you anywhere. Okay? Natalie, if you don't calm the fuck down, I am not taking you anywhere. And Natalie is like, okay, motherfucker. She goes storming back into the bar. Okay? And she flips Sophie's drink out of her hand. Glass all over the floor. Sophie's like, Rob, you should check her. Okay? Because, she flipped my drink and there's glass all over the floor now. So, anyway. Now, this is where Natalie finds herself dealing with crazier. Okay? So now, Jasmine goes outside and hands Natalie her purse. And Natalie says, you started it, you fix it. And goes to walk away from her. So, Tanya, I'm going to address this in the T part of the recap. Okay. Yes, Natalie is mad about, things that went on TV, and basically Chat GPT entered the room. And, but I'll get into that in a second. Okay. Natalie's a character on and off screen. That's all I have to say. Oh, don't be sorry, Tanya. Please don't be sorry. And yes, Kristen, I agree. As soon as Jasmine would have grabbed my face if I was Natalie, that shit would have been on. Okay? But instead, Natalie just stood there looking at her with crazy eyes. Jasmine's like, you are not going to play these fucking games with me. Okay? I didn't start anything. It is your man. You need to take your anger out on your man who did this. Okay? And you broke a glass on my feet, Natalie. And you are going to apologize right now. You think you're crazy, Natalie? I will show you fucking crazy. Apologize. And Benny looks scared for his fucking life. Okay? Benny tries to get in between them. Jasmine is screaming her head off. You might want to meet with crazy? That's why no man is going to deal with this shit. And you're going to be alone, bitch. You're going to be alone for the rest of your life. Julia basically pulls her away. If you're wondering where Gino and Josh were while all this was going on, yeah, that's what they were doing. Okay. And we leave off the episode. The episode ends, I should say, with Natalie still standing outside the bar, watching Jasmine being pulled away by Julia with those crazy eyes that are shooting fire and daggers and swords and machetes and God knows what else she's shooting out of her eyes at this point. Okay, so now on last night's the between the sheets thingy that they do after the episode, I just want to say, I know I'm throwing this in totally random because I didn't cover last night's episode yet, but Julia and Jasmine start talking about sperm masks. I just want to say, Jasmine, you're fucking nasty. Okay? Nasty AF. That's all I have to say. So, anyway, now moving on to the tea portion of this video. Now, while Josh is hanging out with Chanel West Coast, Natalie is complaining about how she was portrayed. First, she did this story and tagged Gino in it. The moment your girlfriend is being attacked, but you're the one who insinuated all this. Fatal traction from Josh, with some laughing emojis. Now then, and Natalie posted this with the clip of Julia and Brandon telling Sophie how Natalie was talking shit about her ass. Okay, so she says, stages of bullying, my last resort experience. Targeting and exclusion. They targeted me without reason, spreading lies and rumors to turn the group against me. False accusations. Julia lied, saying I insulted Sophie's behind her back, and Sophie falsely claimed I talked to people that I dislike her. These were baseless accusations to justify their own actions. Sophie and Josh wanted to cover up their own inappropriate behavior at the resort, flirting with each other in front of her husband and me. They made me the scapegoat to deflect blame. Hashtag false accusations, hashtag gaslighting, hashtag provocation. Point 3. Body shaming and group insults. Josh mocked me with jokes about marks on the bed and bathroom use. The group turned my every move into a running joke to humiliate me. Point number 4. Gaslighting and isolation and reinforcement. Now you guys see what I mean about Chat GPT entering the room? Because we all know Natalie did not write this herself. Josh started calling me crazy, and soon the whole group joined in, reinforcing the idea I was, quote, crazy. They collaborated to isolate me and gaslight me. Point number 5. Victimization and emotional harm. Their relentless actions left me excluded, humiliated, and emotionally drained. Yep, all of this is coming in the next episodes. Key question. What kind of person bullies their own partner and turns a couple's retreat into a group attack? So now, she gets support from Sinjin's girlfriend, Shauna, who is like her bestie. They're always going out, hanging out and stuff. And Shauna says, that's why we take the trash out. Can't wait to find you a hot, rich dude who loves to spoil you like you deserve. She replies, San Francisco, thank you. You could tell people much more about Josh. And Shanna replies, the way I could go on and on. Buddy was lucky to be even in your presence. Laughing face emoji. Now, she goes on in her comments to accuse Sophie of sleeping with Josh and other older men. A fan replies, I 100% have your back. It was so sad to watch. And Natalie replies to her, stay tuned to see how Sophie and Josh tried to paint me as crazy while secretly hooking up later. I'm puzzled how Rob managed to complete the USCIS paperwork for her to stay in the US, especially since they're clearly not together and she's been involved with Josh and other older men. Now, this is where Rob he stepped in, but Natalie didn't like his comment and it suddenly vanished. Okay, so Rob felt the need to let me know what Natalie was doing in her comments. So here's Rob's comment that vanished. Natalie, you need to stop. Sophie and Josh never had a physical relationship, and you know that. Going around lying, saying that they did so you can play victim is trash. You are also making both of us look even dumber. Yeah, good point, Rob. We all went to the resort and wanted the best for our relationships. I don't know why you turned it into a Natalie versus Sophie situation. You need to stop spiraling and get a hold of yourself. Oh, you are so right, Rob. I don't play these gossip games, but as long as you're coming for Sophie, you are dragging me into it, and I don't like that. I've never had an issue with you personally, so I prefer to keep it that way. Sophie is not your enemy. Look in the mirror or check your man. Whoa. So that's Rob's statement. So, anyway, Natalie, she's an empath. Didn't you guys know that? She's not going to play the same games, okay? I am an empath and I study psychology now. I won't do anyone any harm. Did you guys realize Natalie is an empath? Shit, I didn't. So while Julia is in New York City, yeah, by the way, while I was in Aruba, all of the Last Resort cast members were in New York. So that's probably when they filmed the tell-all. So we shall see. Julia's posing in front of the Rockefeller Christmas tree. The guys, Josh, Florian, and Gino were out getting Joe's pizza in Times Square. Okay. And speaking of Josh and this Last Resort promo picture that was driving me crazy, and I would like to say a special thank you to my follower, Alex. Thank you so much, Alex, for sending this to me. This is from the 90-day official page. So Josh replies, because someone asked, why isn't Josh in this promo picture? And Josh replies, I was at the hospital with my son. I couldn't make the photo. So mystery solved. This is why Josh is not in the promo. I still don't understand why they can't just Photoshop him in, but hey, whatever. So, anyway, now that Gino and Jasmine are over for good, Jasmine is with her boo Matt. Word on the street, they moved to Hollywood, Florida. So now Jasmine doesn't have to complain about the winters anymore. Okay, she's in Florida now. So Gino celebrating his best life, meeting fans, taking pictures. Like I said, Jasmine is in Hollywood, Florida with her boo now. So no more Michigan winters that she hated so much. Julia, on the other hand, she has not been in a good mood. She's not in the mood to celebrate Christmas. She didn't buy anybody presents. Only her dogs got presents. I mean, I understand she's missing her parents. She's sad, but I mean, she has her husband. She has her in-laws. I'm sure she has a circle of friends. I mean, I don't know. So Julia's sad for Christmas, and then Florian is doing all of these modeling pictures, and I heard some rumors. I don't know if it's the 90-day clickbait accounts again doing it, but there's rumors out there that Stacy and Florian are no longer together. As far as I know, that is not true. But what is true is that there is a problem in Darcy and Georgie land. Mary Pants first reported this while I was away, and I actually noticed this as well. Darcy posted a highly filtered picture of herself. I mean, let's just put it out there, and captioned it single era. And I was like, huh. She also has been promoting her OnlyFans a lot. I'm like, interesting. Then I noticed on Georgie's last post a couple of weeks ago, Darcy first she commented, "Thank you for coming and supporting me and Stacy, looking dapper." Then a couple of days after, she commented, "So funny, you act like you love me." What is going on in Georgie and Darcy land? I think that there is trouble in paradise. So, Darcy and Georgie, yes, they may be headed for Splitsville. As far as I know, Florian and Stacy are still together. Okay? If I hear any different, I will let you guys know. Ari highly recommends Counselor Heidi. Okay. From Last Resort, Heidi is kind hearted and no nonsense. So she wants everybody to go follow Heidi. Now, we have a highly filtered picture of Sophie. And guess who this is, guys? This is Natalie when she was much younger, I guess in her early 20s or so, before any Botox, before frying her hair. Oh my God, girl, you need a deep conditioning treatment in the worst fucking way. Before basically, it's, I mean, seeing how she looked here and how she looks now. She did a Darcy and Stacy on herself. Hi, Alicia. Thank you so much. Um, so yeah. So that's Natalie way back in the day. And like I said, remember how she got so fucking upset when she thought Mike's mom was calling her a hooker? And she's like, I have a name and it is not hooker. And she went out to the car and she sat in the car and she was like having a, temper tantrum. And Mike's mom is like, I didn't call her a hooker. It was just a fucking mess. But for her to turn around and call Sophie a hooker, that's okay though. That's okay. I mean, the hypocrisy in the 90-Day franchise as a whole is unbelievable, because then we have Jasmine, who turned around and flipped out on Natalie for calling Sophie a hooker, for not being a girl's girl, okay, for not taking the girl's side, automatically assuming the worst about the girl. Jasmine flipped the fuck out on Natalie because of this. But Jasmine's filming Single Life with her new boo Matt, the one that she called crying. She's filming with him, yeah. And Gino is filming with his own separate date. Somehow they wind up in the same bar. And like I said, I guess it's only okay for Jasmine to call somebody a hoe, but not Natalie. Okay, so check this out. This is Jasmine calling Gino's Single Life date a whore. But that's okay.
Gino! 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 Gino!
She's a whore, guys. And it's okay for Jasmine to call another woman a stranger at that, because as far as I know, Jasmine and Gino's date don't know each other. I mean, I don't know the whole context of this scene, but it looks like maybe they ran into each other at a local bar. Okay, and Jasmine could call this woman a whore. That's okay. But Natalie's not a girl's girl, and Natalie called Sophie a hooker, and Jasmine almost ripped her head off. So the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy. Ugh. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me on this Christmas Eve. I have a lasagna that's already done in the oven, and now I'm gonna go make some shrimp parm, and we're gonna eat the leftovers tomorrow. I'm not cooking tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. So I just wanted to say, if you receive a present from me, this is what it's gonna look like when it's wrapped. I suck at wrapping, and Mariah Carey also sucks at rapping. I saw a reel from, I think, ET or People, one of those accounts, where they gave her some of her merchandise. I think it was a pair of earmuffs to rap, and Mariah's rapping skills on par with mine. That's all I have to say. Happy Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. Merry Christmas. I probably will be uploading a video tomorrow, an Oy vey or a recap of B90. So look out for that. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support as always. And I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Good night.